dog is sitting here eating a stuffed animal. Jesus Christ. It's so funny. I didn't expect to wake up this morning and have to clean out all my kitchen cabinets because of a mess. And I didn't expect to come up here before we started our podcast and get fucking aggravated to all hell by looking at at YouTube for 5 minutes. God damn, man. This is not my day. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday.
Welcome. Happy Wednesday. We're having a great time already, I can see.
Already.
So let's just talk about what we were just talking about, because I think it's valid to talk about. So, hey, everybody. How's it going? Remember how we always kind of mentioned that a couple weeks ago, we had an update on B. Caruso and her weight loss pause because she's decided to focus on her mental health in order to get that thing. Yeah, to get that binge eating disorder under control. Well, apparently there's a lot of people who have a lot of feelings about that. Which I really didn't know. Which I didn't really know. I can't decide if I'm hot or cold.
It's the gray. That's what it is.
I know. It's too much gray. Which apparently I wasn't paying attention to because I don't really troll YouTube much looking for. I can't my neck. All right. Sorry, guys. I don't troll YouTube looking for videos of reacting to people. But this happened to pop up in my my YouTube suggested. Is that what it is? Suggested, right? Mm-hmm. Wait, let me put that on. So I happened to notice when Beatrice Caruso, when we talked about her going on her pause for mental health, she had titled that video, I was never going to lose weight, right? That was the title of it. And she basically explained that she was not going to be losing weight the way that she had been going about losing weight. She felt that, just to sum it up real quick, she felt that no matter how many different diets she went on, no matter how much exercise, no matter how much caloric deficit she was in, she would still be triggered to binge eat, therefore taking one step forward, 2 steps back every time. So she felt like it was like a roller coaster, and the best way to address this was to go get help to address her emotional eating issues and her binge eating disorder, and then try to be successful or attempt to lose weight. So she's putting the weight loss on pause to get the emotional work done that she needs to, which is, we are 100% in support here. So Obese to Beast did a video a week ago saying Beatrice Caruso was never going to lose weight. So that's a play off of her video. And I haven't watched it because I literally found it 5 minutes before we got on to her today. And from what I can gather from the comment section, it was a clickbait title, and that he's talking about her doing harm reduction in the sense of her taking care of her mental health first before dieting and stuff like that. And she's got a lot of love in the comments, which is what we want to see because she deserves it. And you know what? It's just the fact that these people are coming out with opinions on her. It's not even technique or way. It's just what she needs to do in her life to get herself healthy, right? I mean, and then I found another video that, there's a lot of what I'm seeing here, and I'm not saying Obese to Beast did this because it sounds like he actually, I will watch it tonight and I will report back if it's different than what I'm assuming here. So forgive me for making the assumptions.
We will have breaking news.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here and say that he did this as a clickbaity title and was like, I 100% back the idea of getting your mental health in order first before. But then there's other videos that if you do a search on her where people are also commenting on this, and I've kind of backhandedly kind of smacking her around a little bit for this. Of course you weren't going to lose weight the way you're doing it. You were doing 12 different, and which has always kind of been a comment that I had on it because my thing is you have to be consistent in weight loss. So jumping around from thing to thing is kind of not the best plan of action. I get it. If you're looking for something, which she seemed to be searching for the right method or whatever. But then again, she realized her issue was beyond that. So more props to her.
Right.
But there's a lot of judgment being thrown around here. And it's not even really disguised as concern trolling. And it's, the best part of it is that it's done by people. It's being done by people who are either trying to lose weight themselves or who have lost significant amounts of weight. And, I will put myself in there. I'm somebody who's lost a significant amount of weight, and I've had a critique of her, and I just said what it was. But I also, hey, Colleen, thank you.
Hey, Colleen.
Hi, Dr. Warmanen, Dr. Warmanen.
Dr.
And
Dr.
I always liked her though, because I think that, hey, Scott, I think that he's saying hi to her, not me. I just realized. Okay. But I always liked her because she's she's got a great personality, and she's very honest, and she puts it all out there. And one of the things that you and I both like is that she always talked about her mental health. This isn't anything new. From day one, if she was depressed, she talked to you about being depressed. So there's just a lot of it happening. But I would never here's the thing. I don't have binge eating disorder, so I don't know how difficult it is to deal with that on top, and as a mental illness, and then have to deal with it as an eating disorder, right? So I know how hard it is to lose weight with just kind of having a shitty relationship to food and overeating a lot, because not binging, but just emotionally eating or depressive eating, not not a binge, what I would think a binge is. But anyway, it's different for everybody, I know. But I don't ever feel like I've sat down and eaten an exorbitant amount of calories or anything. So, going by what the quote unquote accepted or common theory is, right? So I can't imagine how doubly hard it would be if you have something like a binge eating disorder on top of that. And there just seems to be a lot of concern trolling about this, and I just don't get it. I really don't understand, because as far as I'm concerned, I think that and I'm going to get hate for this, what I'm about to say. I know it. But I feel like if you are overweight, you have some kind of emotional disorder or some kind of slight mental illness, because you're using food as a coping mechanism to deal with something, right? You're using it in something to fill something. I mean, it is what it is.
You could be who knows why you're overweight? You could be overweight because you've got...
Okay, if you don't have a medical issue, and you straight up are just somebody who eats, you just eat. If you're an emotional eater, lonely eater or something, I think there's a little bit of that in every person who's not physiologically or metabolically overweight. You know what I'm saying? So to judge somebody else like that is just, to me, where the fuck do you come off saying shit like this? Because this is my issue with all of this bullshit because most of the people who do the reacting are not skinny legends themselves. And I really do feel like they should know a fuck lot better than they do. That's my biggest criticism. And I don't want to hear, and maybe at the beginning when this was a thing, hearing the well, who better than to criticize than me, who's there kind of situation might have been a valid excuse a while ago. But now when it's starting to get ugly, it's not a valid excuse anymore. It's just why do you feel like you have something to comment about this? It really kills me that, people are ragging on this person specifically because she's I'm going to go get my mental health fixed first, and then I'm going to address my diet and exercise. That just is what the fuck what's wrong with you people? I don't know. Well, so that's what I'm angry about right now.
I think that it is commonplace to, I've said this in the past. I don't know if I've said this on here, but I think that it is commonplace to insist that for a fat person, the only thing that a fat person can do, the first, second, and only thing a fat person can do is lose weight. that's the priority, period. And you don't get to put your mental health first. And mental health is never considered for a fat person, especially for like the bigger you are, the less your mental health is taken into consideration when it comes to weight loss. Like, it's the last thing you get to think about. You don't get that luxury. Get your ass out there on the treadmill and do some work because you're lazy. That's all it is. You know, go eat some celery and go walk on the treadmill. You're 300 pounds, you're 400 pounds. Clearly, you don't care about your health. Why would you care about your mental health? It's the assumption that people make all the time about people in bigger bodies. Therefore, L is for laziness, you know? And because the assumption is that fat people don't care about themselves, because we don't care about ourselves in general. Like, we don't get to make these choices for ourselves. Other people get to make them. And because I'm a fat person too, and well, look at me. I'm exercising every day. I'm eating right. I'm making the good choices. So of course I can make them for you. Of course I can make them for you. I mean, I'm guilty of doing the same thing to other people. I'm guilty of doing the same thing to other people as well, and it's regrettable behavior. It's horrible behavior. It's horrendous behavior.
It's also human behavior.
Yes, it is. It is. And so, you know, kudos to Beatrice for, you know, being vulnerable and putting this out there, because she's stronger than any of her critics. Ugh. Can't even speak. Well, she's stronger than any of her critics for being able to just put this out there in the first place. And then, you know, next thing for her is to be able to just, you know, establish her boundaries and hold fast by them, because none of these people are going to tell her what she needs to do, you know, and be the final deciders of when it's time for her to get back on that wagon and just eat keto and, you know, whatever.
Well, I'm going to say this is that, John, I'm watching your video after this is over. And if it's not what I think it is, you're going to hear it from me on Monday. Not that you watch this or anything like that, but anyway. Okay. So anyway, L is for lazy is today's topic. And I think what I want to do, or what I want to pitch you is, we always have the science to back it up. Like, that's one of the things we do here is we look for actual
That's
science.
The worst lighting in the whole world.
Yeah, it's dark. You got dark all of a sudden.
I know, because the stupid thing keeps flashing and it's driving me nuts.
Okay, I'm sorry. So we usually always have the science to back up what we talk about. And we do have it for this week, but I think I just want to talk about this other article that's not in a scholarly journal, because I think this is where we see a lot of this bullshit happening, or the ways that we see it happening. But I just want to straight out say at the beginning, and I'll post the links to some of the citations, but there's plenty of research done that shows that when you treat fat people like shit at the gym or when they're exercising, they're not going to want to do it. Okay. And the only positive thing I saw out of the research I did was this article about weight loss trainers who actually don't treat their fucking clients like shit, which was nice to see, because I wouldn't have expected that. I was nice to see that in this study, it actually found that trainers were actually very compassionate about this and wanted to help people, which is what you want to see in a physical trainer. You want to see somebody who wants to help people no matter what body they're in, right? Okay. So let's talk about this article from Shape that says 9 ways you could be fat shaming someone at the gym. And they said, we polled real women on the body shaming comments they've heard inside gym walls. Cut these statements from your vocab set. So they say
we gave me all the giggles.
I know. We see fat shaming everywhere, from news reports featuring pictures of headless fatties to doctors discriminating against overweight patients to a group called Overweight Haters LTD, which hands out insulting cards to people they deem too big. Yeah, really, that happened. Oh, I can't wait to see that or read that article. Then there are subtle slights. Larger people endure the look of disdain, the name calling, the lack of anything cute and plus size. It's cruel, demoralizing, and it doesn't help. Research shows shaming fat people doesn't inspire them to lose weight. and may even have the opposite effect. Yes, we know. Okay, so for right off the bat, before we start, I want to say that this article and what we're about to talk about is why I feel like fat people should go to the gym more, because I think that there needs to be more, their presence needs to be there. It needs to be normalized that when you go to a gym, you're going to see all different types of bodies there, because everybody is working on their own thing. And I personally don't feel like I've ever been fat shamed at the gym. Like, I've definitely been fat shamed, like walking down the street, like pushing my kid in a carriage, but I've never been fat shamed at the gym. And I've always loved that, because I felt like that was like almost like a sacred place for me with that, and if somebody were to do that to me, I would have been very, very upset, because you just fucked my whole like place for me. I've actually had much, even, and I'm not saying at this size now, I'm saying even at my heaviest weight, I've had exact opposite experiences at the gym, that I felt people were extraordinarily helpful, extraordinarily welcoming, and for the most part, 99.9% interested in what they're doing and don't even care about anybody else around them. That being said, I will say, if you have gone to a gym or are going to a gym or a fitness class or something, and somebody there is making you feel uncomfortable for being or fat shaming you, open your mouth and say something to a manager, to somebody there, because that is not the environment that they want to have in their gym. Trust me, that's not what they want. They want people to be comfortable, that they will come and frequent that business. So to know that there are people who are putting people down like that it will be frowned upon. So, and you have every right to exercise without being harassed. That's the other thing. So let's just throw that out there right now. Okay, so this is going to be all this, it's all going to be concern trolling bullshit. We know already. So let's talk about it. To help make the gym a safe space for everyone, for everybody, we asked readers to share the comments they've gotten from other gym goers that have made them feel less than great. You're so inspirational. While this may sound complimentary on the surface, who doesn't want to inspire others, the underlying implication is that the person is doing something unusual or superhuman, and working out while overweight should be neither. It's even worse when the statement is followed with a reason that centers on the person's body. 3 examples: Jessie Ford, 31, from Denver, Colorado; Emily Erickson, 34, of Seattle; and Fernanda Espinoza, 22, from New York. Because you don't care that everyone's staring at you. They are. Because you keep coming every day, even though you're not losing weight. I would fucking smack a bitch that said that to me. Let me tell you that right now. Or because you remind me why I need to work out. What? So it bothers me right off the bat that people feel like it's okay to say this. And I think that's part of the other part of this, which is just another example of how fat bodies, people think that they're on their public property, but they can say whatever the hell they want to for people. Or it just, I don't even know if it's just fat bodies anymore. Like, I think we're in this kind of period now where people just think they can say whatever the fuck they want to people. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, nothing is unsacred. Nothing's sacred anymore. She would go to prison. Colleen and I carry bail money for each other constantly. So someone would get a barbell somewhere where they don't know shit. It's federal prison. Like, I mean, I don't understand. I am not that old. I'm going to be 45 in 3 weeks. I'm not that old, people. Like, I really am not. And I am like, half the time, I'm just like, where the fuck do people come from that say some of this shit? Like, do they have no home training? Like, what is it? Like, I don't understand the stuff that comes out of their mouths, because like, I was taught to not say certain things, or just don't talk about certain things with strangers, or like, I mean, I just don't get it. Like, I wouldn't say that to my best friend. Why would I fucking say it to somebody I don't even
stranger
know? Like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. So there's that, which is awesome. And like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be anybody's inspiration. It's the same thing with like the cancer porn and the fucking disabled porn. Like, all these people, like, don't make it seem like, when people, I'm going to shut up and let you talk. I swear to God. just like anybody who has cancer or who has a disability, that is their life. Like that's their real life here. You know, obviously you can either you can overcome cancer. There are certain disabilities you can overcome, but if like, you know, that's normal for these people at this point. So why are you going to make it like something that's not? Like, can we just normalize these people's places in society? Like, don't come to me and tell me I'm your inspiration, or if I am your inspiration because you don't want to look like me, then just keep that shit to yourself. I don't need to know that. Like, seriously, like you might not want to look like me, but I don't want to be the asshole that you are apparently. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop talking.
Just keep going. Just keep reading. Keep reading.
Okay. All right. So that's the first one.
You're so inspirational when you read.
I'm afraid of ending up like you. What the fuck? Nobody wants to be treated like a cautionary tale. Nova Larson, 38 of Burnsville, what is going on in Minnesota, shares how a college-age girl approached her while she was lifting weights and told her flat out, "I'm scared of looking like you. No offense." That is the definition of offensive. What is she afraid to look like a badass, like lifting weights? Like seriously, is that it? Like I don't. What's the problem there?
Maybe she's afraid of the weights. Maybe she's afraid of the weights you're lifting.
Why are you saying that to me? I don't see. For those of you who are not on here magically before, Angie said that I could be intimidating because of the weights I lift. I don't feel like
ladies are afraid of lifting heavy weights, and
like I talked about in the other podcast, that everybody wants a J-Lo ass. Everybody wants those guns arm, like the Madonna's arms or whatever. And the only way you're going to get that is by lifting heavy. Well, I'm just saying.
But women don't believe that.
Because 3-pound weights aren't going to do anything for you.
They're not heavy. I'm going to look like Arnold back in 1972.
The thing is, it's like,
I believe you. Like,
I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand how bodies work. Like, first of all,
no, they don't.
Men and women are never going to look alike. Testosterone does something completely different to men, and we don't like. It's not going to affect. It does it. We're not going to look like them. They have the male hormones are what is making that happen. You want to look like that? Go get on some steroids. Like, I mean, let's be honest here. Or, and I'm sorry, Karen, but like the hour a day that you lift those 50-pound weights are not going to make you look like that. Okay. Like, I don't think people understand, like, if you're going for like a bikini or like physique contest or anything like that, I don't really think people understand the amount of time that gets put into that. It's not an hour a day. Okay. It's like 8 hours a day. All right. And
it's a full-time job. Yeah.
It is a full-time job. Everybody I've ever known who's competed in body competitions, that has been their full-time job for the time that they had to prepare. They literally are in the gym or like doing meal prep 10 hours a day. So, they do 3 workouts a day. They prep their meals. They're like on it, like, cause that's their goal. And you have to have like no body fat, and you have to look a certain way. And, so you are not going to bulk up from your daily hour of lifting. I'm sorry. That's just not how it's going to work. You're probably doing more harm than good by staying with those 5-pound, 3-pound weights, and as I've said many times before, women should pick up the weights because as we get older, we lose calcium, our bones need to become stronger, and we need to do things to help our body maintain our body and our muscle tone just as we age so that we can stay strong. So, consider possibly lifting beyond like 5 pounds, guys. Like, I mean, really. You don't have to.
Hey, Toasty.
I'm not going to preach on this. Hey, Toasty. You don't have to do like an hour-long like workout. Like, it doesn't take. Just get a set of weights and do something. I mean, there's so much out there for beginners. There's so many simple exercises. My point is, if you're going to do a simple exercise thing, go and like challenge yourself. Go get the 10, 15, 20 pounds. Get rid of the ankle weights. Get rid of the wrist weights. Get rid of the little like thinky weights, and like do something to actually help your body. That will help your body. As you get older, it will help you. I promise. I swear. And I promise to God, you're not going to get like, you're not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in a dress. I swear to God.
I might.
You might? Okay. Well, that's good. Okay. Ugh, no one wants to see that. You shouldn't wear that. I feel like that from people who aren't fat sometimes. Active wear can be tricky for a girl of any size to navigate. Show too much skin and you can be called a slut. Dress in baggy tees and you're sloppy. Can I just say one? I don't give a flying fuck if somebody thinks I look sloppy at the gym. I'm there to like sweat and look like shit. I'm not there to put on a fashion show. So let's just start that right there. But larger women.
This magazine is published in Minneapolis. It must be.
Well, everybody I talk to is from Minneapolis, it seems.
Well, everybody in this article is from Minneapolis, it seems like.
Okay. But larger women have even more expectations to contend with. I was told to wear less revealing workout clothes because my size grossed people out. Aim Carly, 26 from Hattiesburg, Mass.
I'm the creeper at the gym.
Leah Kinney, 32 of Minneapolis, adds that a stranger at the gym told her to throw out her favorite body-hugging capris because only skinny minis can do spandex. Gym pants are tight for a reason, Kinney says. The bottom line, everybody should be able to wear whatever they feel best exercising in without worrying about catty commentary. So, yeah. Definitely. And what kills me is how it's the reverse also. Have you know that like what's everybody's favorite gym, Planet Fitness, won't let you wear stuff that's skimpy if you're like bulk, right? Like if you have a good looking physique. Have you heard this?
Mm-mm.
They tell people if you're like a woman, let's just say a woman, and you got, you are cut because this is what you do. You've been doing this. If they will tell you not to wear like a tank top or just a sports bra because they don't want you to intimidate other people. This is the same reason why you can't make noise on the squat rack there. They don't want you to intimidate others. Which is stupid. I think it's stupid both ways, but I mean you have never seen.
I'm going to the little rehab gym at the hospital across the street from me. So
I've actually posted pictures on Twitter and Facebook of signs put on fitness equipment at Front Fitness, and they won't let you superset or anything like that there because at some places because they don't want you to intimidate others. Yeah, I know. Fun, right? So I think on both sides it's like really fucking stupid. So it's just have you tried?
I mean it is, but it's like that. That's the problem. Like that's the problem. Like you should be able to do your best and you should be able to work your hardest and you should be able to look your best, but you should be able to start from ground zero. You should be able to start at 600 pounds and not be ashamed and not be made fun of.
And fitness clothing or whatever clothing you wear to work out in, let's just get it all. Like anything can be fitness clothes. If you can move around in it and do what you got to do, it's whatever, right? That is just a tool that is part of the toolkit, right? You can't, you got to go to the gym. You got to wear clothes that work for you, right? So there should be no judgment placed on that. Like
none whatsoever.
None whatsoever. It's just it's a tool that you're using to accomplish your goal, to work out.
And this is my body. This is my body. It's mine body. It's mine. It's not yours. Go away and leave me alone. I'm not going to apologize for my body.
No.
Period.
And this really just goes back to this whole thing of like, I just wish everybody would just keep their fucking head down and do their own goddamn thing at the gym. Like, seriously. I mean, like I said earlier, I always feel like that's the experience I've always seen happening. I know there are places that don't, but this is just like, why are you even paying attention to what other people are doing at the gym? Like, seriously? I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Like, I sit there and I laugh at somebody who might be in a squat rack doing something stupid. But like, that's different. I'm not making fun of their body. I'm making fun of the fact that they're about to fucking break their foot.
Here's the only time I've ever noticed what other people have done at the gym. Two things. One, like I said, I go to the little rehab. I used to go to a CrossFit gym, but I've always had a membership at the little rehab gym at the hospital across the street. So, one, when the housekeepers come down and they exercise in their scrubs,
uniforms? Yeah,
that's gross. That's gross because you're going in these adult rooms with C. diff and MRSA and VRE. Go change your clothes and work out because you're not cleaning the equipment before you leave. That's gross. That's gross. That's disgusting. And 2, when the lady came in, she was on her phone. She was on her phone and she was talking trash. She was on the treadmill and she had her wig on and she had her makeup on. Like, I didn't understand why she was all dressed up to get on the treadmill. She was talking on her phone and she got mad and she stopped, but the treadmill didn't.
Oh no.
And I couldn't laugh at her.
Scott said, I'm always the first person to I am the first person to reach out and try to help. But I mean, like, you know, there are people, we like watch those stupid video compilation gym people doing dumb shit at the gym. Like, and I mean, dumb shit, like, you know, I'm going to load up this bar way beyond and like try to, you know, stupid shit like that. I think half of them sometimes are what do you call it? Staged. But then again, there are people that are that stupid. So, you know, I don't know. I never understood people who went to the gym in makeup. Like, I never understood that. It might just be because like I sweat a lot and I, you know that I will break out if I have makeup on my face. Like, I don't know who these people are that magically don't sweat, or like, I think it's gross. Like the first thing I want to do when I get home is take my makeup off. Because I don't, you know, I'm done. I don't want to go melt it off my face by going to sweat, especially like,
after work.
Especially like after you work out. And like when I was going to the gym, I would do my workout and then I'd go sit in the sauna for like 5 to 10 minutes to just like warm down and whatnot. And people walk in full makeup. I'm like, this ain't even gonna be on your face after like 2 minutes. What are you doing?
I don't understand how people can wear makeup just daily, but that's just me. So
yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Like direct from work. I used to go after work and I would still bring a soap and a towel and wash my face off before I would go because I just could not deal with it. I mean, if you're a type of person that's comfortable like that, I guess. Like like to me, I know what my skin would how my skin would react to that. And I just don't but this goes like, you know, my biggest fucking like, no is people who wear perfume or cologne at the gym. That drives me fucking crazy.
See, I wear perfume because people stink. People smell bad. And I just, that smell,
I'm talking like the people who
skin.
Douse
not like a whole,
no,
I don't douse myself, just enough so I can like smell myself. I just feel like here so it comes up.
I'm talking about the people who are like on the treadmill next to me and I'm like literally tasting their like don't like, I mean, seriously, like, you know, you're like, I wish people would just think a little bit. Like, you're going to a gym, you're going to be breathing heavy, you're going to be working out, you're going to be like huffing and puffing. People want to taste that. We don't want that. We just don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want it anyway. So people just, you know,
taste me at the gym.
No, there's some. Let me let this dog out of the room before he like drives me crazy. Hold on, we are back.
Okay. So the next one is: have you tried this new diet?
Oh, fuck
Unsolicited diet advice is always a bad idea, but it's particularly insulting to bigger men and women who may or may not be trying to lose weight. Either way, what they eat isn't your business. I've had uninvited diet plans and workout advice shoved in my face so many times that I've lost count, Carolee says, adding that it's gotten so bad that just walking into the gym can trigger a panic attack. I got to.
Oh, you did that very well.
Mary's a better reader.
How many men do you think they do that to? Seriously, like.
I don't know.
Just wondering. Like, I would say.
I don't know, but I just don't like it when they act like women are the only people who get shamed at the gym, because that's not true.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. I mean, frankly, I've seen it. I've not seen it as often, but I have seen it. And mostly it's by women, not by other men, which is amazing too. But it does happen. Both sexes, you do talk about each other at the gym in not so polite ways. I feel that one thing I've noticed is that once I started losing weight when I was still like working or like out a lot, not in this kind of 6-year journey, but prior when I was sick on. Once I started losing weight, people became obsessed with what I was eating. Like other people with what I was eating, not like I wasn't, but like other people.
Right.
And the questions were endless.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you guys. Like, because I wasn't on any special diet. Like my method has always been calorie deficit. So it wasn't like I was eating a special food or eating a special kind of menu, but people just like all of a sudden it's like they want to know what magic secret you have. And I'm like, I don't have one. Like, I just don't eat as much.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, that is kind of like, to me, goes hand in hand with that. Like, people will start asking about, oh, well, I see that you're losing weight. What diet are you on? Or like, and it's like, it's none of your business. Like, what I put in my mouth is like none of your goddamn business. Like, just worry about you.
Because it's my body and it's my mouth and it's my food.
And what the real other thing is too. And I know this is going to sound mean, but you know what? In my experience, that you don't want to know. You don't care. You don't want to know the answer. Like, you don't want to know it. And even if you're also overweight and you're asking me, you don't want to know either. You just, because you want to hear that I have some special magical 5-second fix that I'm doing that is going to magically, if you do it in 3 weeks, you're going to drop like 15 pounds. Because you don't want to hear
my ass off for
you
the
don't
last
want to hear that
months.
I'm in the gym every day, that I eat this many calories. You don't want to know. Bitch, I have cancer. Scott's like, stop tapping on the table. I'm angry.
I want to tap too. Can you hear me too? Wait.
Yeah. Nah, that I can't hear. No, but like, that's the truth. These people don't want to know. Mm-hmm. They don't want to know. I don't want to show that one. They don't want to know what we're doing. Like, because they want it to be this like ultra easy, simple fix. And it's not. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, if you want to know, I'll tell you, but do you got a pen and paper? Let's write it down, because here we go. So they never care. Like, they just want to either.
There's a difference. There's a difference between those people who are asking you because they're interested in you and they want to empower you and they want to give you the outlet to talk about the things that this is your life.
Yeah.
There's that. And so they don't care, but they care about you.
Right.
So they're talking, But
and there are people who genuinely care for their own, want to know. And those are the people who are normally not going to shove another diet down your face when you talk to them. They're not here to like un-up you. They're here to like, oh, please tell me. It's not like you're going to say something and then, but have you tried that? Have you tried that?
Right.
Like, they're not shopping around for shit. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, what I put in my mouth is none of your business, and I'm a little concerned that you're watching what I'm eating way more than I'm watching what I'm eating. So you might want to work on that. I don't know. Okay. Work off that fat butt thigh tummy. What the fuck? Pointing out someone else's flaws for them is rude and also not very motivating. Chris Olson, 47, from Cleveland, says a spin instructor once told her after a grueling workout, "See you tomorrow so you can get rid of that fat ass." Wow. I'd be so out of that class. Not only does she happen to like her ass, thank you very much, but not everyone wants to look like a Victoria's Secret model. And instead of encouraging women to use exercise to fix their problem areas, we should be using fitness to show everyone their strengths. I have so much to say about this one, but I'll let you talk first.
Well, I was actually just talking about this today with my therapist about separating exercise from weight loss, because I've been struggling with this a lot. Like, I used exercise, diet, exercise, and weight loss. It's the triforce of balance, they're just.
This is who's going to be on. He's going to be on panel with us next week on Wednesday.
I can't wait. I'm really.
That's going to be funny.
But separating for me, like, because of where I'm at with my therapy and my, whatever, I'm really struggling with getting back outside and getting back to walking. And I used to be able, I used to walk my 3, 4, 5 miles a day and whatever. And sometimes I'd be able to do it all in one shot. And sometimes I do it in like 2 or 3 shots in the day or whatever. And now I'm finding myself struggling to walk to the end of the block, from the middle of the block, and not be out of breath because it's been a year and we've all been locked in the house and I've gained all this weight and I'm out of shape and I'm deconditioned and yada, yada, yada. And yeah, I feel that way because I'm not even motivated to get, my depression, like it's not even motivating for me to go outside. And I feel like part of that lack of motivation is because if I go for a walk, am I going to lose weight? I'm not necessarily going to lose weight, and I can't separate it. But I know that I need to go outside because just going outside and walking it's just good for me overall.
Right.
Getting out in the sun and moving my joints. It's like heating up the car. It's like turning on the car and running the car and burning the oil, burning the water out of the oil, and just it's daily maintenance. And it's what I used to say on my YouTube channel. Like, just because I'm 300 and whatever pounds when I was doing my CrossFit workouts and stuff, just because I'm this size doesn't mean I can't do these things, and just moving is going to keep me alive. Like, like I don't want to sit in the house and sit on my ass and just keep gaining weight and then find myself having to move downstairs because I can't walk up 20 stairs anymore.
Right.
And that has nothing to do with weight loss. That has everything to do with my health.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this kind of bullshit is what drives me crazy because first of all, no fitness instructor should say anything like that to anybody. So that's like number one. But this
unless
kind
you
of
have that kind of a relationship, and your fitness instructor knows you're trying to get rid of your fat ass.
Right. Well, okay, but this is why this drives me nuts. Okay, is because this perpetuates that fucking dumb. I like you too,
Scott. I think you're funny.
That people really believe that you can spot reduce fat on your body, and you cannot. Like, it's not how that works. Can we just talk about this, please, for 2 more seconds? I can't stand when people are like, got to work on this to get that ass, get rid of that fat on your ass. You got to get rid of your stomach, get rid of this. You can't magically target where your fucking body is going to get your fat from. Like, it just goes the way it goes. Like, and for all of us, it's different. Like, for some women, you lose it from your breast first. Some people lose it from their face first. Some people lose it from their ass first. It doesn't matter. Like, different spots on the body, different people. This is the way it is. You can do all the fucking sit-ups in the world and it might not happen for you. I'm sorry. You might still have fat there because you might have kick-ass strong abs, but you might still have a layer of fat there. That's just the way it is.
Right.
So for this bullshit of like, we're going to work off this part of your body, that's not how it works.
Exactly.
You want to get leaner, you got to eat in a calorie deficit, you got to lift and build muscle, and that's how you lose fat. You got to burn fat. That's it. You got to burn fat. And when you burn fat, you're burning it all over your body. You're not just burning it in one place. You can't magically will it to your stomach. That's not how it works. And I can't stand when that gets perpetuated because people really and truly believe it. That's why there are like 5 million fucking 13-minute ab workout videos on YouTube right now. And you can have a great work, like go for the ab workout. Everybody should have a strong core, like go for it. Like I'm more power to you. I'm all about working your abs. But the bottom line is that if you are lifting, you should be working your abs constantly because you should always be keeping a tight core. So like to do it a separate thing is not really a must. There is no like 6-pack abs do not happen in 10 weeks. I'm sorry. That's just not the way it is. And it has way more to do.
Got your 4-pack started.
Right. And it has way more to do with what you're eating than it does than what you're doing physically. So if we could all just stop talking about like burning parts of our body off by exercise, that would be great. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So you should probably start with walking on the treadmill. Sure. Bigger ladies walk. They also kickbox, Zumba, do CrossFit, powerlift, run, do yoga, and do pretty much every other type of exercise you can imagine. Larson, a star of her competitive fast pitch team, points out her size is an advantage in her sport. Okay, I don't know what the fast pitch team is, but whatever.
Softball.
Softball? Oh, okay. Yeah, so you do whatever you feel comfortable doing and doesn't hurt.
And again,
that's what you do. And what you like.
This is how you normalize fat people in the gym, is that you go to any gym, because you can, any exercise, I know you know this, Mary, any exercise is infinitely scalable. Any exercise from a burpee to a jumping jack is infinitely scalable, and anybody at any size can do it in any gym. So from kickboxing to Zumba to CrossFit to powerlifting, Olympic lifting, yoga, whatever it is, like there's no limit to what any body type, from the thinnest to the largest, can do, and that's how you normalize it.
And let me go put one more on that. Put another point on top of that, is that if you're going someplace that is, you're working with a trainer or somebody who's training you, any trainer worth their salt will be able to scale that or modify whatever you're doing for your body and or for whatever your issue is. And if they can't, if they're not willing, find another trainer, find another place to go. If you're not going to a gym and you're home, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. We're showing modifications for all sorts of different things. And I've said this a million times, and just like Angie's saying now, go do whatever you feel you enjoy doing and that you can do and makes you feel good. I'm not talking pain, like don't want to walk out in pain. You should definitely feel sore after you work out so you know that you did something. But if it's causing you physical pain, you don't do that. And it could be something as simple as standing up from a chair and sitting back down, doing that like as many times as you can in 30 seconds, take a 10-second break or 20-second break and start that again. That's, some people start that place. I have, like I mentioned on the show prior that
you know what that's called? That's called a modified squat.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there are plenty of modified, there's plenty of different ways to do squats. Whether you do it against a wall. I mean,
what makes it so important is that, like, you may get bored walking. Like, a lot of people find walking boring, but you might find CrossFit or yoga or kickboxing or any of that stuff exhilarating. And what keeps you going back is the sense of accomplishment. It's being sore and finding out that you can push through that. It's hitting a wall and being able to like take a breath and reorganize your thoughts and being freaking exhausted and finishing 10 more minutes of a workout. And you're like 350, 400 pounds and you push through and you just did a 25-minute workout. Your entire body kept moving for 25 minutes and you moved 400 pounds of weight of your own body. Plus you were picking up stuff. Plus you weren't complaining because you did this. Like, it's the accomplishment, it's the variety, it's the results, it's the improved strength. All of a sudden you notice that you are not shuffling when you walk. You're picking up your feet when you walk. All of a sudden you notice you have some more coordination, or all of a sudden you notice that your body is moving differently in space. It's all these things that you didn't think you could do that all of a sudden you're doing.
Right.
And you've done that. You've done that because you decided to take a risk and go to a different gym as opposed to just getting on a treadmill, something that you find immensely boring, and it's just something you're not going to be able to maintain because you don't like it. You deserve and have a right to go to any gym that you want to.
Yep.
So take that risk, because if you find a good trainer and you ask those questions and you're here he comes.
Oh.
If you take that risk, and you invest in yourself, and you take that risk, and you go to find a good gym and find a good trainer, you ask those questions. Can you modify these things? Have you worked with a person whose body looks like mine? And what's your track record with that? And, what is your philosophy with working with people like me and those kind of things? Like,
Right.
the payoff is so worth it. Like, your success is so worth it. So, give it a try.
Yep. And the thing is, everybody starts someplace. So like, like Angie's saying, the thing you have to keep in your head is that where you start today is going to look completely different next week. So, just keep going. Like, that's all I keep saying. And I am just like a weightlifting evangelist just because I love it. Because I hate the treadmill. Yeah, I hate the treadmill. I hate all the machines, mostly all the cardio. I hate fucking cardio. We know this. So like I always tell people, lift weights, because you'll start someplace today and next week you'll be lifting something heavier and you'll feel great that you can lift something heavier. Like, I mean, that to me, it's like instant feedback. It's instant like satisfaction of knowing that, when I started, I was starting with 20 pounds on a, like I was bench pressing 20 pounds and now I can bench press 25 or 28, this week. So it's progressive and it feels good. But, the other thing is you're going to have setbacks and that's fine. Yep. Like when I had my arm surgery done, right before the time I had the surgery, I was doing like, for me, what were really high counts of push-ups and doing all sorts of stuff. Like lifting, doing really strong lifts overhead and presses. And then I came back to the gym after my surgery, after recovery, and I had to do like push-ups against the wall. And I'm sitting there doing like, shoulder presses with like 3-pound weights in my hands because I couldn't, because you gotta, you get set back, but it moves on. So whatever your starting point is, just know that the next day is going to be different. It's going to be different. It's always moving forward. So don't get discouraged and don't let these people don't let anybody make you feel like anything less. And like I said, most people are I found in the weightlifting community to be very welcoming. I feel like they're very encouraging of people. They want to see people succeed. They want to see you, progress. So, try to find something you love doing. This dog is ripping the shit out of this thing. That you're going to want to keep doing. So, go do whatever you want. Go try that class that you never thought you'd go to. Like, seriously, just don't, who cares? I like this one. I totally know how you feel. I get skinny shamed. Skinny shaming is wrong. So is shaming a woman for any reason based on her appearance. I understand when friends complain about getting comments for being skinny, but the truth is thin is what's seen as beautiful, and you can't ignore the privilege that comes with that. People might look at you like they're jealous, but you don't get the same hate we do day in and day out, Laura Aronson, 26 from New York explains. The struggle is real on both sides. Instead of comparing your struggle to someone else's, just try listening to their feelings. How about we just don't comment on anybody's bodies? That would be like... That's my thing. I try not to body shame anybody because I don't like commenting on other people's bodies and I don't like people commenting on mine. I will say that I think that when people say that, I get skinny shamed too. I kind of want to roll my eyes because I don't really believe you do. 90% of the time, I know it happens, but I don't think it's as prevalent as they want us to think that it is. I'm going to get so much hate for that comment. I know. Just don't comment on people's bodies. But I mean, the point is that she's right. That skinny is like the desired look. So you're not going to get as much hate as fat shoes. Just don't talk about anybody's body. How about that? Like that would be my way of thinking there. Whale, fatty, hideous, drain on society. We were horrified to hear how many women had actually been called names, including these at the gym sometimes to their face, but more often in muttered comments or overheard conversations. Tori Augustin, 32, from Princeton, Minnesota, remembers how one group of gym rats jokingly told her, "You look good from afar, but you're far from good." What? Adding that the comment still makes her feel like crying. Anne Quimby, 31 of Newburyport, Mass, remembers a group of young people yelling at her, "Keep running, fat bitch. Gonna have to run for a year to get rid of those thighs." This mean girl behavior is majorly messed up. Also not okay, pointing and laughing, staring, or loudly whispering. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that because, I mean, it happens all the time. I really, at this point of my life, I seriously think that this is going back to like what we said about the F word. Like, I seriously think if somebody said that to me, I'd laugh in their fucking face. Like, I just, like, again, my default comment would be, really? That's all you have? Like, that's it. Try better, honey. Exactly. Try harder, please. So like, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's at a different place. And I know it's paid. Those things are deeply hurtful. Like, I get it.
Exactly.
Like, I know, I've been there. And, I don't have, my advice is always to just like, if somebody says something like that, I confront the fat bitch for swears. I would just be like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" Like, I really feel like people, if they don't say it directly to your face, if it is one of these situations where people are whispering behind your back or they're muttering something under their breath, the minute that you call attention to it, that you heard it, they're gonna be fucking. So most people are smart enough to know to feel shamed for what they're saying, and to not, to keep their goddamn mouth shut after that. So, I always call people out. I'm like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" Like, "I'm sorry, were you talking to me?" Like, "What? I didn't hear you. Could you repeat that in front of everybody for me, please?" Or, I just like, again, I'm just like, try harder, like, please. But I mean, like, people suck. Like, that's just the way it is. Yes. Like, the world is like that. People suck. People are mean. People are still grounded in that like 13-year-old mentality when it comes to certain topics. Bodies are one of them. Again, people feel like they can say whatever they want to fat people. I think, I think people we're at this place now where I think people just feel like they can say whatever the fuck they want to anybody.
Say whatever they want, period.
So, it's gonna happen. And the only thing I can say is you got to just take that and just work with it as like motivation, right? I guess, like,
well, I mean, you have to like, because these people really aren't going anywhere, and what are you going to do? You're going to have to like work on yourself. And that's why like, as we started out this episode, like, you have to work on your mental health first, right? You have to establish your own boundaries. And the only person who is going to honor every single one of your boundaries is yourself. So you have to work on yourself. You have to build your strength. You have to build yourself up. And you have to prepare yourself for these things, because people are terrible. People are garbage. And, like that last example, like, there's clearly something wrong with those people that would, I mean, there's something wrong with those people, but you still take it on yourself.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's trite to say, but it is still very true. Like, how miserable must that person be if they feel like they need to say that to you? Right.
Like, how miserable must somebody be to be angry at you for working on yourself, or for existing in a larger body and exercising? Fat bitch, you better run farther.
Yeah.
Like, how angry must you really be with yourself?
Yeah, a lot of projection there. So that is how you are not to be an asshole at the gym. But this goes anywhere, really. I think it's just anytime you see somebody exercising in public, like, whether they're walking, jogging, in the park, doing something, at the gym, wherever it is. Again, I just am like, people just keep their fucking mouth shut. Like, seriously, you don't need to say anything to anybody. If it's not going to be positive, if it's not nice, don't say it. Like, seriously, can we just go back
don't say anything. Like, you wouldn't stop a person in a normal sized body who's jogging. You wouldn't stop them if you saw them every day running down the street at 4:00. You wouldn't be like, excuse me, I see you running every day and you're so inspirational. You wouldn't stop them. Don't stop me just because you see me walking every day at 4:00.
Yeah, my headphones just died, so I'm sorry if there's an echo now, guys. Right? Yeah, no, I just don't say anything. Keep your freaking mouth shut. Like, what I do is none of your business. If I'm not including you in it, it's none of your business. That's right. My thing. What the hell is annoying? Oh, that's a win. Okay, so that concludes the Alphas. So Angie, would you like to tell everybody what you texted me last night about an hour after the show ended?
When I texted
would you like to tell everybody what you texted me?
What did I text you?
And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I didn't know what you were talking about.
Wait.
I will get it for you. So last night after the show at 7:48 p.m., I get a text from Angie that says,
what did I do?
59 cluster zones. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like,
that was at like 11 o'clock last night.
And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought I missed something. And then she's like, in the national parks. So I gave a texting equivalent.
What is that meme with the guy with the...
I gave her the texting equivalent of, I told you. And that was from... So guess who went on after the show last night and went and looked up missing 411 David Paulides and the national parks, and then was like, oh my God, because it's scary. Yeah. So, because we both are fascinated by this, and apparently other people thought it was hysterical when we go off book and we start talking about random shit. So the next L is going to be, all right, so we have a couple. So Monday we are doing L is for liberation, and we're going to have that in the sense of a spiritual liberation, because then this morning, after last night, Angie sends me a text this morning.
Listen,
I'm on episode 5 of Astray. So good. I love everything about it. And as she sends me that, I am listening to finishing the latest episode of Astray. So we're going to talk.
I'll be done with that tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll probably be listening to it for dinner.
It
is fascinating. You gotta listen to it.
Yep.
It just sucks you right in.
Monday, we are going to talk about this podcast. It's called Astray, Astray. It is about people who seek spirituality or spiritual enlightenment in India. What?
I was just looking at, I just saw Scott's comment, find inspiration elsewhere.
Find inspiration elsewhere.
And it's just funny that we're talking about Astray now, and I saw that.
Yep. So it's going to be about people who go on spiritual quests in India and go missing or end up having psychotic breaks or die.
Now
there's
I know what happened to all of them.
Yeah. There's like a lot of tangential things going on too there. So if you are wanting to hear about this, I suggest listening to it, because we're probably going to end up spoiling a lot of it because it's kind of impossible not to. This is a completely nonfiction podcast. So that's Monday. But
really interesting. It's really sad. It's a heavy topic, but it's fascinating.
It's fascinating. I've never ever heard of this before, and I would never. And I strongly suspect, and they do kind of touch this very lightly in it, that this is kind of probably something that happens in other spiritual centers like Jerusalem or places like that are considered extremely holy and where people go on pilgrimage. Yeah, we'll talk about it on Monday. Let's let people give it a chance. There's only 9 episodes. They're not very long. It's a binge-worthy. So that's Monday. Wednesday, Dr. War Maiden is joining us and we're going to talk about the L is for lingering. We're going to talk about having chronic illness. So that should be extremely interesting, as I think Dr. War Maiden will bring a very interesting perspective to this. As someone who does not have a chronic illness, I can only kind of sympathize and give a perspective of somebody who's really close to people who do, but I believe both of you have experience that you can talk about from this, so that would be excellent. I have podcast recommendations for days, some great horror stuff too, random thought. Yeah. And then we are going to do another one. L is for Lost, and we are going to talk about the David Paulides.
I'm so scared.
Lost in the national park thing. So if you want to catch up on that, just go look up Missing 411 in YouTube, and you'll get all up to date there. You can also put in David Paulides into any, if you go into the Apple Podcasts app and you type his name in, there should be like different podcasts he's been on that talk about this, that interview with him, or have talked about his books or anything like that. So the man has like 7 books out on missing person cases. So we're going to be talking about that. So if you can, this podcast is evolving constantly. So we're still going to talk about the weight loss, fat people issues, but we're also going to talk about pop culture or whatever the hell is interesting to us, because apparently we're getting a lot of feedback that we're funnier when we just go off book. So, or it's entertaining. I don't know. Like, people seem to like this content, which is fine with me. Numbers don't lie. I'm seeing it on the stream, on the analytics. So I'm just going to go with it. And plus, I'm having a lot more fun with this content anyway, with all of this content, than I was on my YouTube channel. So Scott put the name in the David Paulides. All right. So it's Paulides. David.
All day, Scott. All day.
All day. Yeah. Okay. And that note, we're gonna wrap it up, because I don't want there to be a lot of echo, and I hate not having my headphones on.
I haven't heard any echo yet.
Okay, good. So if you are not subscribed to us on YouTube, the channel is I'll Take the L. Feel free. I love seeing the change in subscription because it's hysterical to me. I just think it's I guess I'm losing those hardcore weight loss people, which is fine. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
Pigs in Space was never going to lose weight.
I was never going to make a channel about weight loss. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh.
I'll try to put some more in here. I mean, a lot of the rants that you hear me talk about when we talk about weight loss or exercise is pretty much what you'd get on the other channel. Again, I'm having more fun doing this, so it's just not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. But again, I'm open for any kind of requests, so leave comments. You can email us, hit us up on the socials. It's all off of our YouTube page. And if you're not following us on Twitch, please rectify that ASAP. We appreciate the follows. We are getting really close to hitting our affiliate status, which means we can do all sorts of fun stuff to interact with you guys, make the stream even a little bit more fun for you, a little more interactive. We are going to keep doing our game nights. I haven't figured out what night we're going to do it next, because I'm just like, all of a sudden, all these ideas are hitting, and I'm just like, I can't keep up. So I'll have this posted on the schedule. Not a big deal, but. So that's that. So follow us on Twitch. If you're looking for new content on Twitch, and again, you want it more than just chicks and hot tubs, which I still think is brilliant, and more power to them. Check out all the streamers that we link to on our page here. We have some great DJs. We have gamers. We have other people who just talk. So there's a great variety of music. There's a great variety of game streaming. We highly recommend all those people. They've been great friends to our show. We really appreciate that very much. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We love it when we have a great audience that likes to interact. Thank you for all the one-liners, the feedback, the comments, the questions, everything. We appreciate it. So thank you, Dr. War Maiden, Big Boss, Toasty, Mod Extraordinaire, Scott, Man Called Meh. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the lurkers who I see are here but may not be in the comments. We appreciate you being here and watching. Anyway,
no swimming in the ocean.
No swimming in the ocean. Yeah. No swimming in the ocean. No eating out of the ocean either. Sorry.
Except for oysters.
Nope. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
And sushi, like I will tear up some salmon,
crabs.
I don't mess with crab. I don't mess with oysters. I mean, lobster. I don't mess with lobster.
I've got love sushi.
I love sushi. I love sushi. The first time I ever had sushi, I did a little sushi dance. Me and my daughter did sushi dances. It's so good. I was so surprised how good it was.
Yeah. No,
I feel like I'm an East Coaster at heart. Like in my right here in my little heart, in my little bitty heart. Toasty Phoenix said, hell no. No sushi.
When you have good sushi, you do that happy dance? No. Nope. No, thank you. No, thank you. I will try anything out of the ocean. More power to you. I'm nope.
The end of our episodes seem to just like spiral out of control
around
lately.
Seafood. What's up with that? I'm just gonna keep clipping that clip, and I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that clip. Even whale. Remind me to not tell you the story of. I have to find it on Twitter before I read it to you guys. But there was a thread that this geneticist did. Like she taught a class in genetics, and they do DNA sequencing. So they do gel electrophoresis where they run the DNA, and so she had them take samples from the fish store, like from the fish market at the grocery store, and then they ran the DNA. Remind me not to tell you guys about what they actually found.
I'm gonna love
I will
this.
never eat anything that comes out of the ocean, whether I'm right next to the ocean or at the supermarket fish stands.
So is it all like
neither one? No.
Were they all related?
No, but some of them were more disgusting than, I mean, even she was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this is what happened. So, but I think I don't think I'm making anybody I'm not killing fish for anybody when I say that most people know that seafood is one of the most parasitic foods ever. So you have to make sure you clean it really well. You have to make sure you cook it really well. Yeah.
Don't cook sushi. You don't cook sushi.
Yeah, no. Don't eat it. Oh my God, yes, I saw this. Yeah, because I retweet it 27 times every time it comes up because I'm just like, this is why I love you, feedback.
Put it on Instagram for me.
I'll email it to you. It's fun.
Yeah.
Pork and chicken is real bad too. I only honest to God, the only meat I eat really is chicken. Because my stomach doesn't really like red meat, and I don't really like pork, and I eat turkey sometimes. So I'm a very I'm boring. Chicken, rice, salad. That's it.
This is why I need to have my little acreage with my own little chickens and pigs. And
grow your own food, man.
Yes. Yes.
Grow your own food. Have you gotten to the point in the podcast where you meet what's her face, and she's like, the only reason I went to India was because I was vegetarian?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you looked at her up? Have you looked her up yet?
I haven't.
Okay, go look her up, because after listening to her, I'm sorry to go completely left from it. After listening to her, I was like, I have to know what this woman looks like, because her voice is just I can't decide if it's incredibly annoying or incredibly
years old,
cute.
but she sounds like she's 20.
Yeah, no, she's probably a couple years older than maybe our age, maybe a little older. Completely looks like what your stereotypical Jewish broad from New York looks like. So she grew up in California, but dark hair, I was shocked when I saw her. I was like, the voice does not match the body at all.
Is she able to leave the ashram at all?
Has she left the ashram at all? She has to, because I looked her up because she did that TED talk in San Francisco. So yeah, so she leaves. I think she's she's a speaker. She's an author. So she does the circuit. She travels for the humanitarian work that she does. So yeah, they're allowed to leave. I mean, they don't have to stay there. That's just where she lives.
Well, I just was curious because of her story. She couldn't.
Her story is
walk
really
forward, but she.
So She tells, I would suggest go look up the TED Talk. It's From Hollywood to Holywood. That's the name of the TED Talk. And she gives a very abbreviated, much the same story that the podcast gives, that she gives in the podcast. But from the comments, it sounds to me like there's probably a longer story. Like there always is a longer story. This is like the abbreviated, really like interesting story. But there's probably, it sounds like she kind of like wasn't able to start immediately that day when her legs stopped moving or whatever. Like, you know, like there's a little bit there that's not a poetic license there. But I had to look her up because I was like, this woman's voice is like, it's either driving me crazy or I love it. I don't know which one it is. And then I saw her and I was like, that does not look like that voice should be coming out of, but she is like everything you would picture in terms of her personality and her like presence of somebody who's been studying in India for 20 years. She's very calm. She's very quiet. She's very deliberate with what she says and does. And so, you know, it was fascinating. I liked her TED Talk. I thought it was interesting. She sounds like she's doing a lot of work. What I found much more interesting than the TED Talk were the comments from people in the comment section, because there were lots of Indians who were commenting on her and were like, either they loved her or they were like, she's lived in India for 20 years and she still doesn't know what the country is about. Like, you know, or they see that she views it very much.
I mean,
a white chick, white Western.
I think you could live in India for 100 years and still not know what the country is about.
Yeah, like, I think it's they take it as, they see it as this is a white chick from the West, you know, taking our culture, like, and appropriating our culture. Exactly. Personally, I think if you're going to give up your doctorate at Stanford and move yourself to India and live there for 20 years and do nothing but humanitarian work, I wouldn't think that's appropriation. I think that's like,
that's a dedication.
Yeah, that's dedication to your beliefs. So there's a lot to unpack in those comments, but I thought they were interesting nonetheless. But yeah, definitely look her up. We'll talk more about her on Monday because she's interesting, and I want to see if I can find any more of her talk about her. Yeah. And they're talking about bacon in the
yes, indeed.
All right, cool. Well, what are we talking vegetarians? Is that what we're talking? I don't even know. I'm so lost.
No, Toasty grew up a Seventh-day Adventist and still doesn't eat the foods that they didn't eat as a youngster.
I didn't know that they weren't allowed.
Doesn't practice.
Oh, you weren't allowed to eat pork? Okay, I did not know that. I had no idea that you weren't allowed. I am familiar with it enough to know that what it is, like that it's a religion. I did not know that there were actual, like, I don't know any of the details about it. Now I'm gonna have to go look that up because that's interesting to me. But anyway, guys, so that's what the next couple of weeks are going to look like, next couple of shows. So I hope you join us. Again, I would love it if you guys listened, even if you listened to like the first episode of the podcast and came to talk about it on Monday. Fascinating stuff, you guys. Even if you like looked up like you listened to the first episode and then did a Google search for the people that you brought, like all really, really interesting. Like I've never ever thought of this phenomenon before. I've never heard of it before. Like I just can't, the only word I can think of is fascinating. Like I feel like I'm just captivated by this.
Yeah. I can't get enough. enough.
I'm really hoping that there's more interesting.
Of it. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much more. And like, it's so interesting, so much stuff about India that I didn't know. It's so well put together. It's so well done. And she really cares about this podcast and the people that she covers, and it's just fascinating. Yeah.
The people that she interviews too are really interesting as well. I
even just like when the three producers get together and just like to hear them talk. It's like us talking, you know. It's
the parts I like, she does more of it in I know you're on like 5, right? Or did you finish? Like, yeah,
I'm a little bit in the middle of 5.
Yeah, so I think like in more like the last 3 episodes, She does a lot more questioning of her counterpart in India to ask her questions about like, have you heard of this? Like, is it? And her answers to things are really fascinating as well, because like it's amazing that some of this stuff is just like, yeah, I know this. This is what happens. Like,
right.
Like, all right, great. So guys, really go listen to the first episode at least and come back and we'll talk about this on Monday, because
there will be a quiz.
It's got to be, this podcast is going to be spoken about. And I honestly, I just like fell into it. I don't even know how I found it. I think it came up on my recommendations and I read the first synopsis and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And it just came. But I have, like Scott said, I have podcast recommendations for days. So this might be a regular thing.
This podcast is everywhere. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple.
Yeah,
it's on Stitcher.
It's on all the major platforms. Yeah. Okay. So Angie, with that, I'm going to bid you good night. Thank you again for everything. As wonderful as usual.
Great to see everybody.
It's good to see everybody. Hopefully we'll see you on Monday. Again, do your homework so we can talk about it. Have a good night, everybody.
Charge your headphones.
Charge your headphones. That's right. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to bring them downstairs. I'm going to charge them.